All right, here we are. I am going to turn over the host, and I am just going to introduce our presenter today, Patrick McFadden with Indispensable Marketing. And we thought it would be a great idea to host a webinar to help our award winners to you win this award and it's kind of like, now what? So we want you to be able to capitalize on that award and turn it into something that can help you gain more clients or recognition in our industry. So we're really excited about that. First, I just want to congratulate you and each company on winning either a Pro Remodeler of the Year award or a Pro Achievement award. And Patrick, I'm going to turn it over to you. Quick question. How would you like to handle questions? Would you like to kind of go through the presentation and then do Q&A, or would you like people to put them in the chat? How would you like to?
Um, People can put them in the chat, and then I'll also have a time at the end where people will have opportunity to share what they learned or have any questions.
Perfect. And it'd also be great to hear what people have done in the past that they felt like has been helpful. All right, well, here we go. Patrick, take it away.
All right, thank you, Angela. And let me get my screen up here, slideshow, share. Okay. Looks like everybody can see my screen, and I may turn myself off just so I could not have so much stuff be busy. So 1 second here. All right. So congratulations on your award, and I'm excited to talk to you about turning your award into profit. And today, what I'm going to be laying out is a strategic and tactical blueprint. Some stuff I'm going to talk about you may not think about as being marketing, and some of it that you will. But I want to start off by saying today, my main premise is to do this, how to think strategically and act tactically to turn your pro awards award into a business asset. That's really, I think, is going to be the secret. How do we have two shifts and two types of mindsets? One is strategic and the other is tactic, because you got to marry both in order to avoid this. And this is what often happens with marketing. Um, y'all can hear me? I'm good. Okay. This is often what happens with marketing. There's a lot of frustration in marketing, and I believe that's the case because one, there's no logical, process-driven way and comprehensive way to understand, buy, and implement marketing. And so what happens is you get a bunch of people selling the pieces of the puzzle, and you get pieces of you get people out there that will make all these promises about the one a golden bullet, and you kind of don't know who to trust. And so I believe that you got to just have a process approach to marketing. And that process has to include strategic thinking and tactical execution wrapped around the strategy. That's going to solve majority of your marketing problems. Even when it comes to thinking about how you're going to promote your award, how do we put that into a process of thinking about that status from a strategic standpoint, from a tactical standpoint, all around a strategy. Now, when I say strategy, I want to focus on two main pieces. From this standpoint of what we're talking about today is how to maximize your award, that status. Who values an award-winning contractor, company, designer, whatever you want to put in there? And then two, what does their decision-making journey look like? Those are two key things you want to think about when it comes to strategy. Because when you do, you will then get to the third bullet point, how to promote this status of an achievement, which ultimately comes down to having clarity, confidence, and control. When you have those three elements in your marketing, you're most likely to end up with the fourth one that I didn't put on here on purpose, which is customers. So you can almost say these are the four C's. Do I have clarity, who I need to reach, what their decision process looks like? Do I have confidence in knowing what it looks like? And then I have control over what I need to do tactically to get in front of them, to influence them, to guide them towards seeing us as the obvious choice, or the company, the individual, the contractor, to help them reach their goals. So that's kind of how this presentation is broken out. And again, I want you to take the process and map that into your company more than anything, because this approach will apply whether we're talking about awards or we're talking about any other initiative that you're going to be doing. So the first thing you want to do is focus on the who. Who meaning define them. And we're going to go back talking to the example of who would value an award-winning designer, contractor, company. When I think about this, who would value this recognition? There's three key personas or markets or audiences that I would say would value somebody with the recognition of award winning: clients, partners, and industry peers. Today, because of time, I'm only going to focus on clients. So particularly a homeowner. So let's think about it. A homeowner that values this status of award winning is probably a quality seeking homeowner. They're detail oriented. They want the reassurance that whatever their project will be done right the first time, with clear proof that the provider is trustworthy and skilled. For them, they're valuing quality, credibility, and reassurance in their decision. They're probably going to do some type of research, and they do prefer recommendations and social proof. And one of their concerns is avoiding providers who cut corners. They want to ensure a smooth project process and protect their investment. So we really got to define who would value the award to know how it would be valuable. One of the secrets of marketing is that the thing that you promote, say, do has to be of value to the other person, or it's as if it doesn't exist. A lot of times, so for example, if you say that we're an award-winning designer or contractor and that person doesn't value a contractor that has awards, then it's as if it doesn't exist. And so that's why you got to get the strategy right, because you got to know who would appreciate, who would value, who this would influence before any of the tactical stuff makes sense. Before we start talking about creating t-shirts and business cards and slapping that message on a billboard, you got to know who it's going to matter to and where they play and all of that so that you can connect the dots. Let's talk about understanding them as we continue to. They're probably searching online for ideas. They read educational content, top kitchen outdoor remodeling trends, what to expect from an award-winning remodeler or designer. They probably attend home shows or browse local magazines. They hear about providers from their friends. They actually go about the due diligence of maybe checking for awards or accreditations or certifications. So you really want to make sure you understand that individual, that person that's going to value your award. Let's get into their mind a little bit. What are they thinking? What are their thoughts? I want my home to look amazing, and I need somebody reputable. How do I avoid a bad experience? This company has won awards. Others must trust them too. Can they handle my type of project? A lot of times when you do this type of strategic thinking on the front end of your marketing, these are the things you actually could promote on your website, on social media, to really catch the attention of the customer that are thinking these things. What if you led on your website with, are you somebody that wants your home to look amazing and you want somebody reputable? Do you want to avoid a bad experience? Hey, we're that company. Here's why. We are award winning. We have trusted processes and all these things. So you really want to get into the mindset of your customer so you know the things that will influence them from a visual and verbal and audio driven format. Here's a little chart I developed that brings it almost to the senses. So this type of person thinks and feels, am I making the right choice? I want to invest in my home wisely. Will the process be smooth and worth it? What are they saying and doing? They're going to visit an award-winning website. They're going to ask about previous projects. Maybe they want to see a success story or something you've done in the past. Maybe they're going to compare on reviews. Maybe they're hearing things like, oh, friends are recommending them. Uh, maybe reviews and awards are maybe cited in conversation. So maybe when you even are on your sales call, you're mentioning that you're award winning, and it's tapping their hearing senses. Follow-up emails or calls, voicemails. And one area that I think about is your call answering message, your on hold message, excuse me. Uh, that's a place that sometimes people, if you have on hold music or you have a chance to influence there with your on hold messaging, they're going to see award badges, award trophies, those types of things, blog posts, visuals, testimonials. So this is just kind of how do you tap those senses of that individual. Now, what I want to move into is the tactical execution. This is the thing that most people get up, they sit up, they like, yeah, this is stuff I like. Because when you talk about marketing, most of the time people are going to go right to websites, SEO, um, billboards, TV commercials, email campaigns, Facebook, advertising. But again, I want you to remember the success of those things are predicated on the strategic thinking you do up front. Another way to think about this is diagnosis before prescription. How do I get the right diagnosis that's going to give me the right prescriptions in my marketing? And I call tactical execution prescriptions. All the strategic thinking, the research, the taking the time to understand your customer, the diagnosis, who we are, who do we serve, what are they thinking, what are their problems, what are their challenges, how will we solve it? That's kind of the strategic thinking that the diagnosis part of that will lead you to tactical execution. So here, what I've decided to do is go down a couple of channels and ways that you could use your award status to your advantage. So from a website standpoint, the very first thing you should think about or want to or possibly recommend is your homepage section. Most of the time, your website is the biggest billboard salesperson that you have, because if you constructed it properly and you've done the SEO, it's going to get visibility more than what you can out there on public, in the public. So putting on your homepage, proud to be award-winning X, and other variations could be very helpful. One thing we've been seeing success with lately is pop-ups for announcements, pop-up that, hey, we recently won an award, check us out, read about it, or those types of things. Or, we're an award-winning contractor or designer, request a consultation with us, or having a dedicated awards and recognition page. So here's a couple examples of what that could look like. So here's a company that right on their homepage, it says award-winning home remodeler. And then they go into kitchen, baths, floor levels, and main suites. So they're giving you right up front that we're award-winning. Here's another example of that, well-appointed award-winning remodeling. View our press and awards as their call to action button. Here's another example where a company decided to showcase it around their designers. So meet our award-winning design team. So they've taken the advantage of using it around the staffing component, the designer part of their company.
Do you mind if I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I'm just curious, on all three of these examples, they don't actually say what the award is. So it's just a little bit vague. I'm wondering if it's more like gives you more credentials if you actually say what the award is, or if is it better to make it broad so that it allows it to sound like it might be more than it actually is?
So when you think about the journey of somebody let's say on a website, I would expect to see just award winning, and then as I scroll down, maybe I could see what those awards look like. But initially, you don't want to overwhelm them with trying to I'm just coming into your company. Tell me, okay, you're award winning, kitchen, baths, good, good. And then as I go down that journey of the homepage, you can maybe showcase the award or different things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because all it, truthfully speaking, you win one award, you're an award-winning company designer. Now you can figure out how to showcase that. Like if you only have one award, maybe you add an image of you holding it, then you have a picture of it sitting by itself, then you write a blog post about it. So there's ways to beef up um, the promotion of it. But yeah, I wouldn't overwhelm them initially. I would just say award winning, and then as they scroll down, and actually, I'll have some examples of that as I continue. This is one I couldn't get the whole page on here, but they have an awards page. But what I like about it is they used a very nice, clean image, a very high-end image, and then they put awards, and beneath that it has a bunch of awards. But this company decided to do more of a section, kind of a call out on their homepage, where it's like recognized as one of the area's leading major remodeling firms. But they had awards on there too. This company decided to looking for top of the line remodeling company, call award winning Black Line renovations, start a conversation. This company did it this way, where they said award winning design build remodeling firm, and then they decided to put that into a section like this, where then they have custom homes and they talk about the different services and things like that. So here's the area that, and this one, I'm gonna tell you why I like this one for a couple of reasons. One, I'm very big on local SEO, and I like the fact they put Kansas City right on the front end from an SEO standpoint, and then award-winning remodeler. So having Kansas City award-winning remodeler contributes to your SEO. Also, it gives more credence to it because it's a headline, and headlines are valued when it comes to your website and the SEO. But here you'll see they're showcasing the different types of awards that they have won. Here's another example of that, where a company decided to showcase all the awards or the different types of awards that they have won. There's no right or wrong. You'll see different formats here. Some look better. You try to base it off your style and what's going on. Um,
Patrick,
yep.
would it help SEO for them to say, since we're pro Central Virginia, like Central Virginia award winning, or Richmond, like even though Richmond isn't in the title of our award?
Um, Central Virginia, if it depends. It's yes and no. If you service the whole state of Virginia, if that's the title of the award, then that's the title of the award. What I would do is, like, see how this section of text is on the left-hand side? I would say we're an award-winning, firm, company, designer, and who serves, and I would list some of the service areas there. So I would do my work there. So you could say, this is an award for Central VA, and then I would list some of our key service areas and some of the, you can call it the description text. Here's another way a company did theirs. So rather than listing all the hows, they just said we're multiple year winner. Multiple ways to showcase it. And then I should have put I should have put one up here where a person is holding the award, but it popped in my head. Call to action buttons, another strategic use of your website and other places, but often overlooked. Schedule a consultation with an award-winning, contractor designer, get a quote from Richmond's Best X, contact us for award-winning expertise. A lot of times I see call to action buttons are often overlooked, but they're so significant in moving people towards the next step. Because at the end of the day, what we're all trying to create is conversions. How do I get somebody to be influenced enough by what we have and what we're saying that they're willing to reach out to us, whether it's through phone call or form fill. So you really want your call to action buttons to not just be, get help but be specific in how moving people towards the next step. Yes, I want award-winning expertise. Let me click that button. Yes, I like to work with the best. Yes, I like to have a consultation with an award-winning. So you really want to be strategic, even in the use of your call to action buttons, to move that person towards the next step. Here is local SEO from the standpoint of your Google business profile. Most people ignore this, but it's one of the things that can increase your rankings within your local service area. But mentioning award winning in your Google review responses, maybe there's a way to massage that in, like, hey, thanks for working on your remodeling project. We love being an award winning company that's servicing homes like yours. Something simple like that, because people read reviews. And if you always want to go back to, what do people do? They do read reviews, so we should probably sprinkle in that we're award winning in our reviews, so that further influences and enhances. Because imagine if somebody had a touch point with you in your reviews and it's like, oh, they mentioned that they're award winning. Let me go to their website. Oh, it mentions that they're award winning. The more touch points and the more that you influence your customers, the better. Then mentioning best or award winning in your Google business profile bio. Maybe that's another area where you can have an opportunity to influence and touch that customers in your bio section. These are actually some keywords we did some research on and found that people actually type in, best rated. So here's something that popped in my head when I read this. Let's say you have a 4 or a 5-star rating on either Google, House, or some platform. You can actually say you're a best rated, and this is actually, we did research and found that these are real terms that people search. We found search volume for them. We found that there's actually purchase intent. So these are real keywords that people look for: best rated, top rated, um, best kitchen renovators, award-winning bathroom designs. Uh, and so using those keywords either to create website pages or blog posts, like, here are 3 award-winning bathroom designs. Great. Now, the reason that this is impactful is because, one, if you're going to produce, I always say, if you're going to produce content, it only has an impact if it gets found, right? It's like the tree falling in the forest and nobody there to hear it. Did it really make a sound? If you produce website pages and all this stuff and it never gets found, it doesn't have the opportunity to act as a salesperson, doesn't have the opportunity to influence, to communicate. So you really want to make sure that you're taking the time to optimize what keywords, your blog posts, your service pages, and different things that Google's crawls, so that it has a shot at becoming a salesperson and educating and communicating to people. And then obviously blog posts. So what to expect from working with an award-winning designer, or award-winning home remodeler, or a home award-winning dealer, right? You really want to build on that. Hey, here's what to expect from somebody that does win awards. And then use storytelling to showcase how the award reflects your company values and expertise. So maybe the award you won is um, based around certain criterias. How do you showcase the criteria that it was judged by, that it aligns with your company's values or your expertise, and then tell that story? Here are some examples that I found, because you can't post the whole blog post, but home remodeling with award-winning design tech remodeling. Not great use of the title, but because of their name, but you can get the gist. Get inspired by these remodeling ideas from award-winning projects. I thought that was a good one. Email marketing. Uh, Email marketing is probably one of the highest payoff activities. One, you already have permission to communicate to your current client base, or um, partners. And two, it you're doing it in a way that's relevant, and it's not you're trying to educate people to showcase that reinforces credibility and trust, essentially. One of the things that gets lost in marketing is that it's always a revolving door, right? Like you always have to prove that you're credible and that you're trustworthy. And it resets every day because you have to educate your customer or even your partners that they have made the right decision in doing business with you. So when you send announcements around award winning or we've been top rated and those types of things, you're reinforcing that they made the right decision to partner with you or to work with you and that you are still the best in the market. That is something that is a nurturing tactic that I think people should employ. Another place that often gets overlooked is we all send emails out every day. You got to think about your email signature being a additional salesperson. Your email signature probably gets more visibility than most of us sometimes. So why not use your email signature as a key marketing opportunity, as a key touch point? People go there to look for contact information, phone numbers, website. So using that space very strategically to say we want to award or we're award winning is highly suggested, especially the amount of emails that we send today. Here's an example. I only put one in here, but I thought it was really good. This company does a direct mail newsletter, but it was laid out very well. I love the way that how it's positioned. So this is kind of the front of it here. You'll notice award-winning basement renovation, and they have the logo of the award right there. The next section is storytelling. So let me. So you'll see at the top, what started out as an unfinished basement on this Woodbridge Place home ended up as an award-winning project. Just storytelling, right? Telling the story of who the clients were, they're empty nesters, they did this, they did that. It's a very well-written, put together piece, the before, the after. I really think this is a model to use. And then here, this is kind of like the tail end of it. So they're still reinforcing award-winning basement renovation. You see more images of how it looks, the wine cellar and those types of things. Um, so it really was a good put together. Uh, but this is in a direct mail format. You can do the same thing in an email format. Again, the goal is to continually educate customers that they made the right part and partners, they made the right decision. It reinforces our credibility and trustability, which I would say in marketing, you're always trying to do three things: build knowability, likability, and trustability. And that's a continual process, the know, like, trust factor. How we continue to get people to know us, like us, and trust us. Advertising campaign. So if you're going to be doing any features or sponsored ad spots, making sure you incorporate that status of award winning. And then you can also do that if you're running any Google ads or Facebook campaigns. You can mention award winning. So making sure you incorporate that language into your advertising campaigns. And then last but not least, event and office marketing. I think if you do have a physical location and you're bringing prospects there to meet with them, have sales calls, those types of things, you could display your awards in your office, or if you have a showroom or at community events, get your banners and stuff like that done. Uh, if you're more of a virtual company, maybe you develop a background that makes sure you have award winning in it and you're doing things that impact it on a visual side. So I do think there's still ways to influence whether you have a physical space or not. You just have to think about what are all the touch points that a customer could come into contact with us. And then are we strategically acknowledging? I look at it as real estate. That's the easiest way I could say to look at it. What are the touch points that we get in that customers can get in contact with us? But then it's real estate. What real estate do we have that we can own, that we can maximize? And then if you have any marketing material or collateral, making sure you use professional photos in those of either the awards or anything like that, that's going to be key. All right. Here's just if you think you've heard anything interesting or had an aha moment, and we do offer marketing checkups where you can talk to an expert, get fresh strategies, identify gaps, solid recommendations. So that is there on the table. And then we're going to move to this part of the talk where let me see if we have any questions let's see. Or if you learned something. If you learned something, let me see you raise your hand.
I'm trying. I can't find the hand raising. You know, Patrick, I also want to say that I've done another course that was talking about retaining the best employees and building morale. And I think, you know, using award winning in conversations with your team, like how, you know, we're an award winning company. If you're responding to even a negative review, you know, put something in there like we take our reviews very seriously. We're winning company and we want to make sure all of our clients are treated a certain way, you know, like just make it part of your culture.
That is true. Yep. When people are researching companies, most people want to work with winners.
Mhm.
And so when you say you're award winning and then you put that on your careers page or your partner page, like if you're a company that works primarily with different partners, then that's attractive, right? Because then it's like, oh, they're award winning, we're award winning, and I only want to work with companies that are doing great work. And one of the ways I can tell you do great work is that you won an award, or you're partnering with companies that do great work. So it actually is an attraction tool too
Mhm.
that helps you attract the right people. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. One of our presentations that we're going to do, I think it's March, is with Victoria Downing Remodelers Advantage. And it's all about developing that culture that people want to be a part of. So this award shouldn't be just a trophy that you put on a shelf. It should be something that's a part of your company culture.
yeah,
Hey, hey, Patrick,
yeah.
question. I know I'm splitting hairs, but top rated, best rated, is there a difference? Does one eke out
Um,
one over the other?
so there's a difference in somebody's, there's not a, I'm going to assume that the person searching that is probably the same type of customer, but there is a difference in terms of there's different search volumes
Right.
based. Yeah. So there's a difference between that. If you're like, oh, 100 people search top rated, where 300 people may search best rated. So there's a difference in how many people you can get in front of based off of that. But I would say you're probably still looking at the same type of person. They want to work with the best. They want the reassurances that everything's going to go great, that you're good. I don't have to give second thoughts. I know you're the best person for me. So I do believe it's the same type of person, but the searches will bring different volumes, so different at bats at working with people.
Does it matter where it shows up on say on your website, front page, in the
Yeah,
blog?
yeah. So are you are you talking about from a ranking perspective?
Yes, and an SEO perspective.
Okay. So let me. So there's two types of thought. There's ranking and then there's conversion. So when I think about somebody coming to your page, let's say it's a home page or service page, I would probably display it more at the top just because immediately you want to establish that this is who we are. Um, so I would say yes. And then if it's more, maybe it's like the contact us page or something or a blog, you can have it in the title, but then you may also have it sprinkled within the body.
Okay.
When it comes to rankings, yes. So there's typically for on page, which is your website, the headlines, those usually when you see those big bold headlines, those are usually called headlines. Having keywords in your headlines matter. Also, there's something called page description. So if you ever have a tab open and you hover over a tab and then it turns into this big blob saying this, having keywords in your page title there influences your rankings. And then also having it inside the body. And then I'm not gonna get into internal linking and all
Okay,
that.
okay.
But that's a rankings perspective. I still believe that even if you rank high, your ultimate goal is still to convert that visitor into somebody that reaches out to you. So I still would then say, use your call to action buttons to say, get in contact with the award-winning designer, get award-winning designer expertise now. I still would influence them through the call to action buttons.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. I don't know if anybody else, if you don't have a question, if you learned something, I'd be happy to hear your quick 30-second, what you took away or what was aha for you. Let me see, I have some in the chat too. Okay, that was a hand raise. Oh, okay. Well, if that's it, I appreciate it. Or if you have any more questions, Jackie, or okay. That's it. I appreciate it, Angela. I think this has been awesome. This has been great. We had a lot of different ideas, especially the employer side. I call that employer branding. That was a good nugget, that using that for your ability to either attract partners or bring potential employees or talent. Because some people are hiring 1099 contractors. So even attracting talent, period, just say talent.
Right, exactly. And, with your partners, like your trades, letting them know, like, we do award-winning work. You want to work with us. Trades are out there, they're busy, they're to try to get at the front of their line, knowing that you're, award-winning and that you may be entering a project that gets them more notoriety. I just think there's so many ways to use this that's really intangible, but just really helps to improve your company and your relationships with clients, team partners, etc. So very cool. Well, Patrick, I love the fact that you're always so willing to share your expertise. We have a couple more opportunities for you to do that in 2025. So I'll be reaching out to you. And I appreciate everybody being on here. And if you have follow-up questions, I'm going to be sending Patrick's contact information out, or you can always reach out to me and I'll connect you. But I hope everybody has a great day, and thanks for participating in this pro webinar. Thanks, everybody.